Hi everyone, my name is Muriel and I am MCC's dietitian. I want to talk to you a little bit more today about bloating because it's a question I get really often, almost every day, from people asking, why do I feel bloated? Why can't I get rid of this bigger belly feeling, and what foods should I be eating to help me get rid of this bloat? It's really important, obviously, to note too that not everybody has the same digestion and everybody digests foods differently. So some of us may feel bloated with some foods while others may not feel bloated with those exact same foods. It's really individual. And that's why we work one-on-one to help you figure out what those foods are for, what those foods for you are. So hopefully I can help you understand a little bit better about digestion and why we bloat. Let's start with digestion. So initially, when we eat something, digestion starts in our mouth. Our saliva has certain enzymes in it, and it starts to break down carbohydrate molecules into smaller forms that are easier for our body to absorb and use as energy. Proteins and fats don't start to get broken down until they reach our stomach, right? There's other different enzymes here that our body naturally produces to help break down these full molecules into more usable sources of energy for our body. And then the last step, which is really important when it comes to bloating, is our small intestines. So food will move from our mouth into our esophagus, into our stomach, and then into the beginning part of our small intestines. It's really in here that about 95% or more of proteins and fats are broken down, absorbed, and digested, right, where we use these. When the bloating comes into play is when we don't naturally produce these enzymes as much, or we're eating foods that just don't get broken down as well. And there are certain groups of foods that really are a little more complex and we can't break down as well. So the main culprit we can really attribute to that bloating is that presence of undigested sugars and starches in our gut. And these sugars and starches come from carbohydrates in the form of oligosaccharides, which is just a little bit more of a complex term of complex carbohydrates. When there's too much of these in our diet, we don't break them down as well, and they tend to just sit in our gut. And that sitting is really what that bloating is, or what causes that bloating. So there are things we can do to help to manage this bloating, things like adding peppermint tea to your day, ginger, making sure you're getting enough fiber and water to go along with it, and probiotics. So techniques that all of us can use on a day-to-day basis to help with that bloat, in addition to choosing certain foods, maybe at certain times of the day or certain portions, and not having too much of these foods really out at one time, that our body's just going to have that overload and not be able to break it down. So if this is interesting to you, or if you find that this kind of sounds like you and you need some help with this bloat, let us know. That's what we're here for. We're here to answer all your questions, help you get through whatever it is you're going through, and get you to your goals.